Welcome to Session Watch from the Freedom Foundation. Last year, we did a similar show called Olympia Weekly, where we kind of covered everything happening down at the legislature during session. This year, we decided that we're going to take that and break it down, get information into people's hands as it is happening. I'm Corey Burris, and then with me is Trent England, and we are here to talk about everything happening down in Olympia at legislative session. Now, Trent, legislature is back there in process. So tell me, what does that actually mean to me, a regular citizen?
Well, the legislature's back for a short session, so they have 60 days, and as Mark Twain said, nobody's safe when Congress is in session. That applies to the state legislature as well. And you know what it means for citizens who want to be involved and who want to know what's going on. You have to do a few things differently during the legislative session to stay on top of what your representatives are doing. We all have 2 representatives and a senator in Olympia, but people can do that. I mean, there are tools out there. People can actually track legislation. They can see what's going on.
And we'll be tracking that process as well. So, what is the general process that a bill has to go through to get to, and at what point can people get involved? I guess?
Well, I mean, the first thing is to watch legislation as it's introduced. And they've actually they're allowed to pre-file bills before the session starts. And so they have been introducing legislation since December. And there's a lot of it. You can go to the legislative website and you can see the list. Sometimes I know people start out and they're like, I'm going to follow every bill. I'm going to, it's too much. It's a superhuman task to stay on top of every single bill. But what you can do is you can go to your legislator's website and follow the bills that they introduce. You can get a list of just the bills introduced by or co-sponsored by your legislators.
So how would people be able to find out about why they can go down and
If you find a bill that you're interested in any of those lists of bills that are introduced, you can on the legislature's website you can go and you can look at the information for that bill. It'll tell you if it's been scheduled for a hearing, or if you're interested in particular, if you're interested in crime issues, you can go to the Judiciary Committee's website and you can see their calendars. They don't schedule this stuff out very far, though. I mean, they schedule a week in advance at most, and they change their schedule sometimes during the hearing. So it's a little tough. It's hard for people if you're the further you are from Olympia.
But if you join groups like our CAN group that we have at the Freedom Foundation, go to our website. We'll be keeping people informed about ways that they can know about when they can and when they should be going down and getting involved in what's happening, but also keeping kind of accountability of the votes that are happening at the end of this whole process.
That's right. Yeah, and then the Citizen Action Network is probably the best way to do that. We'll let people know about the most important bills, public hearings. After public hearing, there's an executive session. If the committee votes it out of an executive session, it goes to the floor, and that's where there's a debate, and that's where there can be amendments offered on the floor. They do that in committee too. After the debate and after the amendments and all that, then there's a vote, and it goes. Legislation goes through that process on one side, and then it has to go through that process on the other side. And if it makes it through all those steps, then it goes to the governor to be signed into law.
Well, you can always keep track of everything that's happening at myfreedomfoundation.com, and you can also check out this video, which we'll be putting out regular videos to kind of keep people informed on major legislation that's going to be going through. We'll kind of keep people up to date on what is happening. So be sure to check that out here and on our Facebook page.